Hi friends, good morning. Next video from Dhruva Entertainment with Vidu classes. Friends, this question from Unit 7 of first year Geology, that is from Periplanata americana. Friends, Periplanata americana is the scientific name of cockroach. Friends, so here you have to write about what, friends? Describe the respiratory system of cockroach with the help of a neat label diagram. Friends, respiratory system of cockroach, respiratory system of Periplanata americana. Friends, see, first you know what is respiration. Respiration means what, friends? Taking enough air or taking enough oxygen and giving out of carbon dioxide is called respiration. Friends, taking enough air or oxygen, giving out of carbon dioxide is called what, friends? Respiration. Now see, friends, the respiratory system of cockroach is also called as a tracheal system, friends. Tracheal system. Because what, friends? The trachea are the respiratory organs of cockroach. Now friends, cockroach is an insect. The respiratory organs of insects are trachea, friends. So because of that, in all insects, the respiratory system is also called as tracheal system. What are the respiratory organs of cockroach? That is what, friends? Trachea, friends, trachea. Trachea are the respiratory organs of cockroach. Because of that, the respiratory system of cockroach is also called as tracheal system, friends. Tracheal system. Friends, this trachea plays an important role in the transport of respiratory gases. Here, trachea plays an important role, main role in the transport of respiratory gases. Friends, what are respiratory gases? Oxygen and carbon dioxide are the respiratory gases. For the transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide, these trachea play an important role, friends. See, friends, this tracheal system directly carries air to the tissues. This is important, friends. For example, we take human beings, friends. In human beings, respiratory gases are transported through the blood because red blood cells have hemoglobin. That hemoglobin gives red color to the blood. That hemoglobin carries respiratory gases. But whereas in cockroach, blood is white in color. Friends, very, very important. Blood is white in color because blood of cockroach has no hemoglobin. So blood can't play an important role in the transport of respiratory gases. So because of that, what happened, friends? This trachea plays an important role in the transport of respiratory gases. See, friends, tracheal system directly carries air to the tissues. Because, friends, because the blood of cockroach is colorless, friends. The blood of cockroach is colorless and it can't carry oxygen to different tissues. Why the blood of cockroach is colorless, friends? It has no hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is absent in the blood of cockroach. Because of that, blood of cockroach is colorless. Because of that, that blood can't carry oxygen to the tissues. So the tracheal system directly carries oxygen to the or air to the tissues, friends. Okay. Now see, friends. What are the parts of the respiratory system of cockroach? The respiratory system of cockroach has three parts, friends. The respiratory system of cockroach has three parts. What are they, friends? Stigmata, trachea and tracheoles, friends. Stigmata, trachea and tracheoles. Friends, Telugulo aithe untam, friends. శ్వాసరంధ్రాలు, వాయునాళాలు, వాయునాళికలు. ఫ్రెండ్స్, స్టిగ్మాటా శ్వాసరంధ్రాలు, ట్రాకియా వాయునాళాలు, tracheoles, vayu nalikalu. The respiratory system of cockroach has three parts. They are what, friends? Stigmata, trachea and tracheoles. First we'll take stigmata, friends. Stigmata are also called as spiracles, friends. Stigmata of cockroach. The stigmata are also called as spiracles. What is the role of this stigmata? What they, friends? They communicate trachea with exterior, friends. The stigmata communicate trachea with exterior, friends. The stigmata communicate trachea with exterior. ఇవి ఏం చేస్తాయి, ఫ్రెండ్స్? వాయునాళాలను పరిసరాలతో సంబంధాన్ని ఏర్పరుస్తాయి. ఏంటి ఫ్రెండ్స్? వాయునాళ వ్యవస్థకు పరిసరాలకు మధ్య సంబంధాన్ని ఏర్పరిచే రంధ్రాలని ఏమంటాం, ఫ్రెండ్స్? మనం స్టిగ్మాటా అంటాం. వన్స్ అగైన్, ఫ్రెండ్స్, ది స్టిగ్మాటా కమ్యూనికేట్ trachea with exterior, that is with environment. Okay, friends, what are trachea? These trachea are the small, what are stigmata, friends? The stigmata are small openings present on the lateral side of the body, particularly on the pleura. What are pleura, friends? See, the cockroach has 19 segments, in which 6 segments form the head, 3 segments form the thorax, 10 segments form the abdomen. Each segment is covered by sclerites, friends. The dorsal sclerate is called as tergum, ventral sclerate is called as sternum, lateral sclerates are called as pleura. So these openings are present on the lateral side, particularly on the pleura of the segment. Pleura means the sclerates which are present on the lateral sides, friends. See, friends, cockroach has 10 pairs of stigmata. How many pairs of spiracles are there? How many pairs of stigmata are there in cockroach? Cockroach has 10 pairs of stigmata, 10 pairs of spiracles. See, friends, out of these 10 pairs, friends, 2 pairs are present in the thoracic region. 8 pairs are present in the abdominal region. Very, very important, friends. Out of these 10 pairs, 2 pairs, first 2 pairs are present in the thoracic region, remaining 8 pairs are present in the abdominal region. Now come to stigmata of the thoracic region. Friends, you know, thoracic region has how many stigmata? 2 pairs, friends. Thoracic region has 2 pairs of stigmata. See, friends, first pair of thoracic stigmata are present in the mesothorax and second pair present in the metathorax. See, friends, what is mesothorax and what is metathorax? You know, the cockroach thoracic region has 3 segments, friends. The first segment is called as prothorax, second one is called as mesothorax, third one is called as metathorax. ఫ్రెండ్స్, కాక్రోచ్ థొరాక్స్లో 3 సెగ్మెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఆ 3 సెగ్మెంట్స్కి ప్రత్యేకమైన పేర్లు ఉన్నాయి, ఫ్రెండ్స్. థొరాసిక్లోని ఫస్ట్ సెగ్మెంట్ మనం ప్రోథొరాక్స్ అంటాం, సెకండ్ సెగ్మెంట్ మిసోథొరాక్స్ అంటాం, థర్డ్ సెగ్మెంట్ మెటాథొరాక్స్ అంటాం. బట్ ఇక్కడ థొరాసిక్ రీజియన్లో ఉన్న స్టిగ్మాటాని, ఫ్రెండ్స్, 2 pairs మాత్రమే. ఫస్ట్ పెయిర్ ఆఫ్ స్టిగ్మాటా ఆఫ్ ది థొరాసిక్ రీజన్ are present in the mesothorax. See, friends, prothorax has no stigmata. First pair of thoracic stigmata are present in the mesothorax and second pair present in the metathorax. So mesothorax has 1 pair, metathorax has second pair. Okay, friends, these are the first 2 pairs of the stigmata. Now see, friends, remaining 8 pairs of the spiracles or stigmata are present in the first 8 abdominal segments. Friends, out of 10 pairs of stigmata, first and second pairs are present in the thoracic region, that is in the mesothorax and metathorax. Remaining 8 pairs are present in the first 8 abdominal segments. Friends, here there is a question to you. Name the segments of cockroach or mention the segments of cockroach which do not have spiracles, which do not have stigmata. See, friends, the head segments have no spiracles. First thoracic segment, that is prothorax, has no stigmata. Next, last 9th and 10th abdominal segments also have no spiracles. So spiracles are absent in the head region, prothoracic segment and last segments of the abdomen, that is 9th and 10th segments. Okay friends, that is about the stigmata friends. Now see friends, here you have to remember two important definitions friends. The respiratory system of cockroach is called polyneustic and holoneustic friends. Polyneustic and holoneustic. Friends, here neustic means breath or respiration. Poly means many. Holo means complete. Very, very important definition friends. Here you have a 2 marks question. What is polyneustic and what is holoneustic? You know friends, cockroach is an insect. Insects have stigmata. If an insect has more than 3 pairs of stigmata, that is called polyneustic. See friends, polyneustic means presence of more than 3 pairs of spiracles, more than 3 pairs of stigmata. You know friends, cockroach has how many pairs of stigmata? 10 pairs of stigmata, 10 pairs of spiracles. So because of that, cockroach comes under what friends? Polyneustic. ఫ్రెండ్స్, కాక్రోచ్లో ఏమున్నాయి ఫ్రెండ్స్? మనకి 10 జతల శ్వాస రంధ్రాలు ఉన్నాయి. ఒక ఇన్సెక్ట్ లోపల 3 జతల కంటే ఎక్కువ శ్వాస రంధ్రాలు ఉంటే, ఎక్కువ స్పైరకిల్స్ ఉంటే, 3 జతల కంటే ఎక్కువ స్టిగ్మాటా ఉంటే ఆ కండిషన్ ఏమంటాం ఫ్రెండ్స్? మనం పాలీన్యూస్టిక్ అంటాం ఫ్రెండ్స్. పాలీన్యూస్టిక్. ఓకే ఫ్రెండ్స్, నౌ కమ్ టు హోలోన్యూస్టిక్ ఫ్రెండ్స్. వాట్ ఈస్ హోలోన్యూస్టిక్? మీన్స్ వాట్ ఫ్రెండ్స్? ఆల్ ద spiracles are functional. So cockroach has 10 pairs of spiracles, 10 pairs of stigmata. These all are functional. If all the stigmata are functional, that condition is called as what friends? Holoneustic. Friends, very, very important definition. Very, very important 2 mark question. What is polyneustic? What is holoneustic? If an insect has more than 3 pairs of stigmata, more than 3 pairs of spiracles, that is polyneustic. If an insect has, or if the spiracles of the insect all are functional, that is holoneustic. Now see friends, these spiracles have valves. Friends, very, very important. The spiracles have what friends? Valves. Next, very, very important definitions: peritreme and trichomes. What is peritreme? Each spiracle is surrounded by a chitinous ring. That chitinous ring is called a peritreme. Friends, one more 2 marks question. What is peritreme? Peritreme is a chitinous ring which surrounds what friends? Which surrounds spiracle. Each spiracle, each stigmata is surrounded by a chitinous ring. That chitinous ring is called as peritreme. ఫ్రెండ్స్, పెరిట్రీమ్ అనగానేమి ఫ్రెండ్స్? ప్రతి స్టిగ్మాటాను లేదా ప్రతి స్పైరకిల్ని చుట్టి ఒక కైటిన్చే నిర్మించబడిన వలయం ఉంటుంది, కైటినస్ రింగ్ ఉంటుంది. ఆ కైటినస్ రింగ్ని ఏమంటాం ఫ్రెండ్స్? మనం పెరిట్రీమ్ అంటాం. వాట్ ఈస్ పెరిట్రీమ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్? ఈచ్ స్పైరకిల్ ఈస్ సరౌండెడ్ బై ఏ కైటినస్ రింగ్. దట్ కైటినస్ రింగ్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ as what friends? Peritreme. Now see friends, next one, trichomes. What are trichomes? See friends, each spiracle has hair-like structures. See friends, our external nostrils also have hair-like structures, hair. Like each spiracle of the cockroach has hair-like structures. Those hair-like structures are called trichomes. What are trichomes friends? Trichomes are the hair-like structures which are present in the spiracles of the cockroach. What are trichomes? Trichomes are the hair-like structures which are present in the spiracles of the cockroach. Then what is the function of the trichome friend? Trichomes prevent the entry of dust particles. See friends, what is the function of trichome friends? Trichomes prevent the entry of dust particles into the trachea. What are the functions of trichome friends? Trichome prevent the entry of dust particles into the trachea. Now see friends, another important, what is atrium? Each spiracle opens into a small chamber. Friends, each spiracle opens into a small chamber. Each spiracle leads into a small chamber. That small chamber is called as what friends? Atrium. You have to remember 3 words friends. Okay. Now next we'll go to second part. First part is what friends? Stigmata. Second one is what friends? Trachea. Trachea or tracheae friends. Plural is tracheae. What are tracheae friends? These are the respiratory organs of cockroach. Because of that only, the respiratory system of cockroach is called what, friends? Tracheal system. Now first see the structure of trachea, friends. If you see the structure of trachea, the wall of the trachea has 3 layers. They are outer layer, middle layer and inner layer. Friends, the wall of the trachea has 3 layers. See, once you see the image, friends, what is trachea? Then we'll go. See, friends, this is spiracle, atrium, this is trachea, friends. These are the tracheoles. This is trachea. Now we are seeing the structure of this trachea. Friends. Okay. So the wall of the trachea has 3 layers, friends. They are outer layer, middle layer and inner layer. Outer layer is also called as basement membrane. Middle layer is made up of simple squamous epithelial cells. Simple epithelial cells. Friends, simple means the cells are arranged in a single row. Next, inner layer, very important, friends. Inner layer of the trachea is called as intima. It is a cuticular layer. Once again, a 2 marks question. What is intima? The inner cuticular layer of the trachea is called as intima. Once again, friends, what is intima? The inner cuticular layer of the trachea is called as intima. What is the role of the intima, friends? This intima secretes ctenidia, friends. Ctenidia, one more 2 marks question, friends. One more important point. What are ctenidia? Ctenidia are the spiral thickenings which are secreted by the intima. What is the role of the intima? Intima secretes ctenidia. What are ctenidia? Ctenidia are what, friends? Spiral thickenings. Ctenidia are the spiral thickenings secreted by intima. Then what is the function of the ctenidia, friends? See, friends, this ctenidia keeps the trachea always opening and prevent collapsing of trachea. Friends, what are the functions of ctenidia, friends? Ctenidia keeps the trachea always opening and prevent collapsing of trachea. Friends, ctenidia ఏం చేస్తుంది, friends? ట్రాకియా ఎల్లప్పుడూ తెరుచుకొని ఉండేట్లు చూస్తుంది, ట్రాకియా మూసుకొని పోకుండా ఉండేట్లు కాపాడుతుంది. దట్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ వాట్, ఫ్రెండ్స్? ట్రాకియా. నౌ సీ, ఫ్రెండ్స్, దీస్ ట్రాకియా ఆర్ ప్రజెంట్ ఇన్ ద థొరాసిక్ రీజన్ as well as in the abdominal region, but there is slight difference in the arrangement of trachea of the thoracic region and abdominal region. First we will take what, friends? Trachea of the thoracic region. See, friends, thoracic region has number of trachea. See, friends, they are many in number. That is very important. Abdominal region has only 3 trachea, friends. These are horizontal or transverse. Several tracheal trunks. Here tracheal trunks means main trachea, friends, arise from the atrium of the thoracic region. See, friends, what is atrium? Spiracles opens into a chamber, that is called as atrium. From each atrium, several tracheal trunks arise. That is in the thoracic region, friends. Several tracheal trunks arise from the atrium of the thoracic region. Several tracheal trunks, many tracheal trunks arise from the atrium of the thoracic region. That is very important, friends. These horizontal tracheal trunks fuse to form following tracheal trunks. These horizontal tracheal trunks, how many are there, friends? Many are there. They fuse to form 3 types of tracheal trunks. What are they? We'll see, friends. Dorsal cephalic tracheal trunk and its branches. Dorsal cephalic tracheal trunk and its branches. Next one, friends, ventral cephalic tracheal trunk and its branches. Third one, friends, lateral longitudinal tracheal trunk and its branches. Once again, friends, the thoracic tracheal trunks are many in number. They fuse to form 3 main types of tracheal trunks. What are they, friends? Dorsal cephalic tracheal trunk and its branches, ventral cephalic tracheal trunks and its branches, lateral longitudinal tracheal trunks and its branches. Now see, friends, these branches of dorsal cephalic tracheal trunk, this one, friends, and ventral cephalic tracheal trunk enter all organs of the head. Very, very important, friends. The name itself indicates, friends, cephalic means what, friends? Head. The branches of the dorsal cephalic tracheal trunk and the ventral cephalic tracheal trunk enter what, friends? They innervate, they supply oxygen to what, friends? Air to what? Into the organs of the head only. Because of that, it is called what, friends? Cephalic tracheal trunks. Now come to the trachea of the abdominal region. Friends, abdomen has 10 segments. It has 8 pairs of spiracles. Now see, friends, these trachea are only 3 in number. See, friends, in the thoracic region, number of or many trachea are there, but here only 3 are there. From each atrium of spiracle of the abdomen, these 3 tracheal trunks arise. What are they, friends? They are dorsal tracheal tube, ventral tracheal tube, and lateral tracheal tube. Friends, dorsal tracheal tube, ventral tracheal tube, and lateral tracheal tube. These 3, for example, see dorsal tracheal tube of a side, ventral tracheal tube of a side, lateral tracheal tube of a side, that is right or left side, whatever it may be. All these tracheal tubes of one side, that is left side or right side, whatever it may be, friends. All these tracheal tubes of one side opens into 3 separate longitudinal tracheal trunks. What are they, friends? They are dorsal longitudinal tracheal trunks. See, friends, dorsal tracheal tubes opens into dorsal longitudinal tracheal trunks. Ventral tracheal tubes opens into ventral longitudinal tracheal trunks. Lateral tracheal tubes opens into lateral longitudinal tracheal trunks. Okay, friends. Now, very, very important, friends. So, we have 3 types of tracheal trunks. What are they? Dorsal longitudinal tracheal trunk, ventral longitudinal tracheal trunk, and a lateral longitudinal tracheal trunk. Out of these 3, longest tracheal trunk is what, friends? Lateral longitudinal tracheal trunk. Which tracheal trunk is the longest tracheal trunk in cockroach? Friends, MCET and NEET question. Lateral longitudinal tracheal trunk is the longest tracheal trunk of the cockroach. Lateral longitudinal tracheal trunk is the longest tracheal trunk of the cockroach. Now see, friends, these 3 pairs of longitudinal tracheal trunks, what are they? Dorsal, ventral, and lateral. Of both sides are connected. What both sides means what, friends? Right side and left side. Connected by whom? By the commissural tracheae. One more, friends. Dorsal longitudinal tracheal trunk of the right and left side. Ventral longitudinal tracheal trunks of the right and left side. And lateral longitudinal tracts of the right and left side are interconnected by whom, friends? By commissural tracheae, friends, by commissural tracheae. Now see, friends, several branches arise from these tracheal trunks and they enter into different organs. See, friends, each tracheal branch ends in a special cell called tracheole cell. Friends, very, very important. Tracheole cell or tracheoblast. Each tracheal branch ends in a special cell called what, friends? Tracheole cell or tracheoblast. Once again, friends, each tracheal branch ends in a special cell called what, friends? Tracheole cell or tracheoblast. See, friends, this is trachea. See, friends, this is tracheal branch. See, this is tracheole cell, friends. This is cell with what, friends? With nucleus. This is tracheole cell. This one, friends. Okay, that is about the trachea, friends. Now here I have given some Friends, the differences between trachea of the thoracic region and trachea of the abdominal region. Friends, please no need to write this in your IP. This is for understanding, friends. Okay. Thoracic spiracles leads into atria. Abdominal spiracles leads into atria. You know it, friends. Several, this is important, several horizontal tracheal tubes arise from the atria of the thoracic region. But here, 3 tracheal tubes arise from the atria of the abdominal region. This is several, friends, this is 3. That is important. That is main difference between the trachea of the thoracic region, trachea of the abdominal region. Trachea of the thoracic region from atria, several, many horizontal tracheal tubes arise, whereas in abdominal region only 3 arise, friends. Now, what are those tracheal tubes, friends? They are fused to form dorsal cephalic tracheal trunk and its branches, ventral cephalic tracheal trunk, its branches, lateral longitudinal tracheal trunk and its branches. Here, you know, friends, dorsal longitudinal tracheal trunk, ventral longitudinal tracheal trunk, and lateral longitudinal tracheal trunk. Now, friends, come to the next part, last part of the respiratory system. What is that, friends? Tracheoles. What is that, friends? Tracheoles. You know, trachea ends as tracheole cell. Okay, friends. From each tracheole cell, each tracheoblast, several intracellular tubes arise. They are called tracheoles. What are tracheoles? Tracheoles are the intracellular tubules. Intra means they are present inside the cell. Tracheoles are the intracellular tubules, friends, which arise from what, friends? Which arise from tracheole cell of the trachea. Now, tracheoles are formed a protein, that is trachin. One more important point, friends. What is trachin? Trachin is a protein which forms what, friends? Tracheoles. Not trachea, friends. Tracheoles are formed of a protein that is called trachin. Next, another important point, friends. Intima and tenidia are absent in tracheoles. You know, friends, trachea has intima. That intima forms tenidia. But this intima and tenidia are absent in tracheoles. Now, one more important point, friends. Tracheolar fluid is present inside the tracheoles. Tracheolar fluid is present inside the tracheoles. The level of tracheolar fluid depends on the metabolic activity of cockroach. Friends, tracheolar fluid is present inside the tracheoles. The level of the tracheolar fluid depends on the metabolic activity of the cockroach. Very, very important, friends. The tracheolar fluid is more when cockroach is inactive. Friends, when cockroach is inactive, the tracheoles have more tracheolar fluid. When the cockroach is very active, the tracheolar fluid is very less in tracheoles. Friends, once again, the level of the tracheolar fluid depends upon the metabolic activity of the cockroach. When cockroach is inactive, tracheoles have more tracheolar fluid. When the cockroach is active, the tracheolar fluid is very less in the tracheoles. Now, see, friends, last point. These tracheoles, see, friends, penetrates into the cell because of their call as what, friends? Intracellular tubules. Penetrates into the cell and closely associated with mitochondria to supply oxygen to them. You know, friends, what are mitochondria? Mitochondria are the cell organelles, powerhouse of the cell. So they produce energy. So these tracheoles penetrate the cell and they directly associate with mitochondria for what, friends? To supply oxygen to the mitochondria. Okay, friends, that is about the tracheoles. See, friends, once again, see, this is trachea, this is tracheole cell, this is tracheoles, friends. These tracheoles are innervating what, friends? Cell directly. Because of these are called as what? Intracellular tubules. See, friends, this is Tracheolar fluid. Tracheolar fluid is present in the tracheoles only. Okay, this is about the structure of the trachea and tracheoles, friends. Okay, friends. Now, what is the difference between trachea and tracheoles? Friends, very, very important. This is for you. Trachea arises from atria. What is atria, friends? Spiracles opens into a chamber, that is called atria. Tracheoles arise from tracheal cell. Tracheal cell is what, friends? It is the last part of the trachea. Trachea arises from atria. Tracheoles arise from tracheal cell. Trachea ends in tracheal cell. Tracheoles ends in tissues or cells or organs, friends. Tracheoles ends in cells, tissues or organs. Intima present in the trachea. Intima absent in the tracheoles. Tenidia present in the trachea. Tenidia absent in the tracheoles. See, friends, tracheal fluid is absent in the trachea. Tracheolar fluid is present in the tracheoles. Friends, this is very, very important. Difference between trachea and the tracheoles. If you know this, you can write that about trachea and tracheoles, friends. Okay, friends. Now, mechanism of respiration, friends. Mechanism of respiration. So, in cockroach, respiration includes two phases. You know it, friends. One is inspiration and the other one is expiration. One is inspiration and the other one is expiration. First, you know which muscles help in respiration. This is important for MSET and NEET, friends. So, two muscles help in respiration, friends. What are they? They are dorsoventral muscles and ventral longitudinal muscles. Friends, dorsoventral muscles and ventral longitudinal muscles. These two muscles play an important role in respiration of cockroach. What are they, friends? Dorsoventral muscles and ventrolongitudinal muscles. See, friends, dorsoventral muscles are also called as ptergosternal muscles. Friends, the dorsal sclerates are called as what, friends? Pterga. Ventral sclerates are called as sterna. So, because of that, dorsoventral muscles are also called as ptergosternal muscles. Friends, బొద్దింక శ్వాస వ్యవస్థలో రెండు రకాల కండరాలు తోడ్పడతాయి, ఫ్రెండ్స్. ఒకటి డార్సోవెంట్రల్ మజిల్స్, రెండోది వెంట్రోలాంగిట్యూడినల్ మజిల్స్. డార్సోవెంట్రల్ మజిల్స్ని ఏమంటాం, ఫ్రెండ్స్? మనం టెర్గోస్టెర్నల్ మజిల్స్ అంటాం, ఫ్రెండ్స్. సో ఐదర్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ డార్సోవెంట్రల్ మజిల్స్ ఆర్ టెర్గోస్టెర్నల్ మజిల్స్. రెండిట్లో ఏది రాసినా కరెక్టే, ఫ్రెండ్స్. నౌ సీ, ఫ్రెండ్స్, dorsoventral muscles are main muscles that help in respiration. Once again, NEET question. Which muscles play an important role in respiration of cockroach? That is dorsoventral muscles or ptergosternal muscles. Friends, ptergosternal muscles. Now see, friends, come take inspiration. Intake of air or oxygen into the body or into the tracheal system is called as inspiration. You know the definition, friends. Inspiration is a passive process in the cockroach, friends. Inspiration is a passive process. What is passive process, friends? Without utilizing energy. If a reaction takes place if a process takes place without utilizing energy, without utilizing ATP, that is called as what, friends? Passive process. In cockroach, inspiration is a passive process, friends. In cockroach, inspiration is a passive process. Now, relaxation of the ptergosternal muscles. What are ptergosternal muscles, friends? Just now I told. Dorsoventral muscles. Relaxation of the ptergosternal muscles increases the space of body cavity, and when space of the body cavity increases, the pressure of the body cavity decreases. Pressure in the body cavity decreases, friends. So relaxation of ptergosternal muscles, very, very important, friends. Relaxation of ptergosternal muscles or dorsoventral muscles increases the area of the body cavity, space of the body cavity. When body cavity area increases, the pressure in the body cavity, what happens, friends? Decreases. Friends, ఎప్పుడైతే ptergosternal muscles రిలాక్స్ అవుతాయో బొద్దింక యొక్క శరీర కుహరం యొక్క వైశాల్యం పెరుగుతుంది, ఫ్రెండ్స్. ఎప్పుడైతే స్పేస్ పెరుగుతుందో లోపల ఉన్న ప్రెషర్ తగ్గుతుంది. ఇంక్రీజ్ ద స్పేస్ ఆఫ్ ది బాడీ క్యావిటీ, decrease the pressure in the body cavity. That is important, friends. Now, same time, due to relaxation of ventrolongitudinal muscles, one more muscles are there, friends. Dorsoventral muscles, they are called as ptergosternal muscles. What is second type? Ventrolongitudinal muscles. Both are in relaxed state. Due to relaxation of ventrolongitudinal muscles, the telescoped segments come to the normal position. Telescoped segments means what? Telescope means the segments which come closer. Get what, friends? Get normal position. Due to relaxation of ventrolongitudinal muscles, the telescoped segments of the body come to what, friends? Normal position. Due to this, what happened, friends? The volume of the body cavity increases in the longitudinal axis and pressure is decreased. Okay, friends. Now, when pressure is decreased in the body cavity, now there is a space for the entry of air. So then what happens, friends? Air is carried via tracheoles into the body cavity and diffuses tissues via fluid. So when pressure is decreased, the air enters into the body through what, friends? Through the spiracles to atrium to trachea to tracheoles to cells. So then diffusion takes place, friends. See, friends, during inspiration, this is very important, friends. During inspiration, very important, friends. During inspiration, very important, friends. Thoracic spiracles kept open. Friends, how many thoracic spiracles are there? 2 pairs of thoracic spiracles are there. During inspiration, thoracic spiracles are kept open, abdomen spiracles are kept closed. Friends, inspiration సమయంలో థొరాసిక్లో ఉన్న 2 జతల శ్వాసరంధ్రాలు మాత్రమే తెరుచుకుని ఉంటాయి. అబ్డామినల్ స్పైరకిల్స్ 8 జతలు క్లోజ్ అయి ఉంటాయి, ఫ్రెండ్స్. వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. డ్యూరింగ్ ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ thoracic spiracles are kept open and abdominal spiracles are kept closed. సో ఇన్స్పిరేషన్లో తెరుచుకొని ఉండే శ్వాసరంధ్రాలు ఎన్ని, ఫ్రెండ్స్? 2 జతలు మాత్రమే. మూసుకొని ఉన్నవి, ఫ్రెండ్స్, 8 జతలు. అవేంటండి? అబ్డామినల్ స్పైరకిల్స్. నౌ కమ్ టు ఎక్స్పిరేషన్, ఫ్రెండ్స్. Sending out of air from the body is called as expiration. You know it, friends. Sending out of air from the body is called as expiration. Expiration is active process, friends. See, inspiration is a passive process. Expiration is an active process. What is active process, friends? Here it utilizes energy. It utilizes ATP. Now, in the inspiration, relaxation of the muscles takes place. In the expiration, what happens, friends? Contraction of the muscles takes place. You see, friends, expiration in cockroach is quite opposite to the inspiration. You have to remember it, friends. During expiration, contraction of the ptergosternal muscles. See, friends, ptergosternal muscles are also called as dorsoventral muscles. Depress the tergal plates. Depress the tergal plate. What is tergum, friends? Dorsal plates are called tergal plates. Then what happens? When the tergal plates are depressed, the body cavity decreases. Then pressure increases. Contraction of the ptergosternal muscles depress the tergal plates. Due to this, what happens, friends? Decrease the body cavity and increase the pressure. Friends, ఎప్పుడైతే టెర్గోస్టెర్నల్ మజిల్స్ కాంట్రాక్ట్ చెందుతాయో పృష్ఠ భాగంలో టర్గల్ ప్లేట్స్ ఏమవుతాయి, ఫ్రెండ్స్? ప్రెషర్ పడుతుంది. ఫలితంగా బాడీ క్యావిటీ యొక్క వైశాల్యం తగ్గుతుంది. ఎప్పుడైతే బాడీ క్యావిటీ వైశాల్యం తగ్గుతుందో ప్రెషర్ ఎక్కువ అవుతుంది, ఫ్రెండ్స్. అప్పుడు ప్రెషర్, ఆ గాలి ఎక్కువ అవడం వల్ల బయటికి పోవడానికి ఛాన్స్ ఉంటుంది, ఫ్రెండ్స్. ప్రెషర్ ఎక్కువ కావడం వల్ల ఎయిర్ బయటికి పోతుంది, ఫ్రెండ్స్. సో ఫ్రెండ్స్, డ్యూ టు కాంట్రాక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ventrolongitudinal muscles, the segments are telescoped. So quite opposite to inspiration, friends. Now, so the volume of the body cavity decreases in the longitudinal axis and pressure is increased. So the air goes out from the body. Okay, friends. Now, during expiration, The thoracic spiracles are closed and the abdominal spiracles are kept open. See friends, very, very important. During inspiration, thoracic spiracles are opened, abdominal spiracles are closed. During expiration, thoracic spiracles are closed, abdominal spiracles are open. Very, very important friends. ఇన్స్పిరేషన్లో 2 జతలు తెరుచుకొని ఉన్నాయి, 8 జతలు మూసుకొని ఉన్నాయి ఫ్రెండ్స్. ఎక్స్పిరేషన్లో 2 జతలు మూసుకొని ఉన్నాయి, 8 జతలు తెరుచుకొని ఉన్నాయి ఫ్రెండ్స్. దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ, 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 వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకే ఫ్రెండ్స్, దిస్ అబౌట్ వాట్ ఫ్రెండ్స్? ఎక్స్పిరేషన్. నౌ see the difference between inspiration and expiration friends. Intake of air or oxygen into the tracheal system, sending out of air from the body is called as expiration. It is passive process, it is active process. Friends, this is for you, for easy understanding. Okay friends, relaxation of ptergosternal muscles. See friends, ptergosternal muscles are also called as dorsoventral muscles. Increases the space of the body cavity and decrease the pressure. Okay friends, here also relaxation friends, contraction of the ptergosternal muscles or dorsoventral muscles depress the tergal plates, leads to decrease the body cavity and increase the pressure. See friends, quite opposite to this. Here relaxation, here contraction. Here space increases, here space decreases. Here decrease the pressure, here increase the pressure. You have to observe it friends. Now, due to relaxation of ventrolongitudinal muscles, the telescoped segments come to the normal position. See friends, here the segments are telescoped, same. So the volume of the body cavity increase in the longitudinal axis. So the volume of the body cavity decrease in the longitudinal axis. Here pressure is decreased, here pressure is increased. So the air enters into the body, air goes out from the body. Friends, please don't write this in your IP. Either you have to write this or that. Okay friends. Now this is important friends. These 2 points are very, very important for MSET and NEET. During inspiration, thoracic spiracles are kept open, abdominal spiracles are kept closed. These are 2 pairs, there are 8 pairs friends. During expiration, thoracic spiracles are closed, abdominal spiracles are kept open. Okay friends, that is about the difference between what friends? Inspiration and expiration. Now come to exchange of gases friends. Opening and closing of friends, very, very, this is for MSET and NEET friends. Opening and closing of the spiracles is influenced by carbon dioxide tension in hemolymph and oxygen tension in the trachea. Very, very important friends. Very, very important. The opening and closing of the spiracles, you know friends, during inspiration, 2 pairs of the thoracic segment are opening. During expiration, 8 pairs of the abdominal spiracles are opened. So this opening and closing of the spiracles is influenced by what? By what friends? Oxygen tension of hemolymph. What is hemolymph friends? Blood. And oxygen tension, carbon dioxide tension of the hemolymph and oxygen tension in the trachea. Friends, carbon dioxide tension in the hemolymph and oxygen tension in the trachea. ఫ్రెండ్స్, శ్వాసరంధ్రాలు తెరుచుకోవడం మూసుకోవడం అనేది హీమోలింఫ్లోని కార్బన్ డయాక్సైడ్ పీడనంపై ఫ్రెండ్స్, హీమోలింఫ్లోని కార్బన్ డయాక్సైడ్ పీడనంపై వాయునాళంలోని ఆక్సిజన్ పీడనంపై ఆధారపడి ఉంటుంది. ఓకే ఫ్రెండ్స్, కాక్రోచ్ ఎగ్జిబిట్స్ డిస్కంటిన్యూస్ వెంటిలేషన్. ఫ్రెండ్స్, వెరీ, వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్, నాట్ కంటిన్యూస్. Discontinuous ventilation. Cockroach exhibits discontinuous ventilation. Means what friends? Continuous exchange of gas is interrupted. There is no continuous exchange of gases. That is called as what friends? Discontinuous ventilation. The exchange of gases depends upon metabolic rate and temperature. Friends, this is MSET and NEET question. The exchange of respiratory gases depends upon what friends? Depends upon metabolic rate and temperature. Depends upon metabolic rate and temperature. See friends, the expulsion of carbon dioxide from the body occurs in bursts. Friends, here you remember this word bursts. The expulsion or the sending out of carbon dioxide is not a continuous process. It expels out in the form of a burst when the abdominal spiracles open. You know friends, during expiration, 8 pairs of abdominal spiracles open. So at that time the carbon dioxide goes out in the form of a burst. Okay friends. Oxygen diffuses faster into the tissues due to its higher partial pressure in the tracheoles. Oxygen diffuses into the tissues due to what friends? Due to higher partial pressure of the oxygen in the tracheoles. Now, carbon dioxide is carried more quickly into the hemolymph due to its high solubility. See friends, if you compare the solubility of the oxygen carbon dioxide has more solubility than the oxygen. So because of that, carbon dioxide easily dissolved in the blood. So carbon dioxide is carried more quickly into the hemolymph, that is blood. Due to what friends? Due to its high solubility. Dravaniya karigutundi friends. This carbon dioxide accumulates near the spiracles and diffuses into the atrial chamber near the spiracles and goes out in the burst through the abdominal spiracles. So the carbon dioxide, due to its high solubility, it dissolves in the hemolymph. Through hemolymph it reaches to the what friends? It reaches to the spiracles. It diffuses into the atrial chamber, and when the abdominal spiracles are opened, it goes out in the form of burst through the abdominal spiracles. See friends, this is about our trachea. Body wall, spiracle or stigmata, trachea, friends, tracheoles, and this is a cell or muscle cell or whatever it may be friends. See friends, these are the cephalic tracheae. This formed from whom friends? From the thoracic tracheae. Now these are the abdominal tracheae. Okay friends, dorsal longitudinal tracheal trunk, lateral longitudinal tracheal trunk. These are the abdominal spiracles, 8 pairs. They are the thoracic spiracles, 2 pairs. Okay friends, this is about what friends? Trachea or respiratory system of cockroach. Now see friends, through spiracles air enters into the body. This is a trachea, longitudinal trachea, enters into the tracheoles. In the tissues or in the cells, the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place friends. See friends, oxygen is entering into the spiracles, carbon dioxide is sending out from the spiracles. This is about what friends? Respiratory system of cockroach. Very, very important 8 marks question friends. Okay friends, thank you. Good day friends.